You're not supposed to wake up at 3 a.m. to someone knocking on your front door, because whoever knocks at that hour isn't looking for help. They're looking for you. And that night, I learned that. The hard way. It all started with 3 knocks slow, heavy, calculated. Knock. K-N-O-C-K. K-N-O-C-K. I shot awake instantly, like someone had poured ice water down my spine. My heart was hammering before I even understood what I'd heard. The room was pitch black, the kind of darkness that feels too thick, like it's pressing back. For a second, I thought maybe it was a dream. But then K-N-O-C-K. K-N-O-K. Knock. This time, the sound vibrated through the walls. I sat up, gripping the edge of the bed. I live alone. No neighbors close enough to confuse the sound. No friends who'd show up unannounced. And definitely no reason for anyone to be at my door at 3 a.m. in the freezing darkness of early winter. Something wasn't right. I grabbed my phone and opened the live feed from my door camera. But the screen stayed pitch black. Not frozen. Note. Loading. Just a perfect, solid black, like the camera was staring into a void. My stomach twisted. I got out of bed slowly, trying not to make noise, as if the thing on the other side of the door could hear every breath. And honestly, I felt like it could. I felt watched before I even saw anything. Halfway down the stairs, I heard it again. But this time the knocks weren't hard. They were gentle. Slow, like someone savoring the moment. Tap, tap. It made my skin crawl. Hard knocks meant urgency. Soft knocks meant confidence. Whatever stood outside my door wasn't afraid. It wasn't desperate. It wanted me to come closer. I reached the bottom of the stairs, but instead of going straight to the door, I stopped behind the wall. I needed a second to breathe, to think, to convince myself I wasn't losing my mind. When I finally stepped in front of the door, I held my breath and looked through the peephole. Nothing. Just darkness. Not the normal night sky darkness. No. This darkness looked thick, like fog, but solid. I couldn't see my porch. Couldn't see the street. Couldn't see the trees. Nothing existed outside, and the longer I stared, the more I felt like something was staring back. I don't know what made me do it. Maybe curiosity, maybe stupidity, but I unlocked a door. The moment the latch clicked, the knocking stopped. I hesitated, handshaking, and slowly pulled the door open. Cold air hit my face like a slap. The kind of cold that doesn't just touch your skin, it sinks into your bones. But there was no one there. Not a person. Not an animal. Not even a breeze moving through the trees. The world was silent. Too silent. I stepped 1 foot outside. And instantly, everything felt wrong. The air was heavier. The sky looked darker. The streetlights were oddly dim, like something was feeding on their light. Then I heard it a whisper. Right behind me, around. But, of course, nothing was there. My breath fogged in the air, but not like normal. My breath looked like it was being pulled away from me, like the cold was trying to inhale me. That's when my phone vibrated in my hand. A notification. Motion detected front door. 2 minutes ago. My blood ran cold. I opened the clip, and I swear to you, I wish I hadn't. The footage showed my porch, but it wasn't empty. A hand floated at the edge of the frame palanquin. 1, it moved toward the door and tapped 3 times, not knocking. Tapping, like it was testing something. Then slowly, the hand turned toward the camera. Not with a head, not with a body. Hustean twisting in the air like it was alive on its own. Its fingers curled inward, like beckoning me, calling me. Then the screen glitched and cut out. I felt the world tilt. My stomach churned. My hands were shaking, because I hadn't opened the door 2 minutes after the knock. I opened it exactly 2 minutes later. Whatever that thing was. It had been waiting for me. I rushed back inside, slammed the door, and locked every bolt. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. I felt like something followed me in, like I'd brought the cold inside with me. And then Kriek, the floorboard behind me, groaned. Primera, feroz, someone, or something, was inside my house. The light in the hallway flickered once, twice, then shut off entirely. I don't remember deciding to move, but suddenly I was running up the stairs, 2 steps at a time, like something was inches behind me. I reached my bedroom, slammed the door, and pressed my back against it. My chest was heaving. My hands were trembling. My ears were ringing. And then, from downstairs, knock. K-N-O-C-K. K-N-O-C-K. On the inside of the front door. I felt my vision blur. Whatever knocked from outside was now knocking from inside. A wave of dread crashed through me. I grabbed my phone and whispered, barely able to breathe, "Please, please, let this be a nightmare." But the next notification killed any hope of that. Motion detected living room now. I didn't open the camera. I couldn't. But I will tell you this, if you're still here listening, don't forget to subscribe. Because what happened next changed my life in ways I still can't understand, and it only gets worse from here. I stared at the notification glowing on my phone screen. Motion detected living room now. My thumb hovered over the icon, but I couldn't bring myself to tap it, because whatever was downstairs wasn't human, and I didn't want to see what it looked like on the footage. The silence in my house fell to live like it was listening. Then, creak. A slow, drawn-out groan came from the bottom of the stairs. The same kind of sound you hear when someone is putting their full weight on an old wooden step, except Primera, Adenity taking another step since sprinting upstairs. Something was climbing. My throat tightened. My heart thudded against my ribs. Too loud, too fast. It felt like every instinct inside me was screaming one thing. Don't breathe. Don't move. Don't make a sound. I backed toward the far corner of my bedroom, phoning and eyes fixed on the door as if staring at it would keep it shut. Another step. Creak. Another. Creak. But the worst part wasn't the noise. It was the rhythm. The steps were too slow. Too deliberate. Like it wasn't a creature trying to reach me. It was savoring every second of the climb. My vision blurred with panic. And then, the hallway light flicked on for half a second. In that half second, I saw a shadow stretch under the crack of my door. Long. Impossibly long. Like someone standing with their arms at their sides. Only the arms were reaching the floor. I pressed a fist against my mouth to keep myself from making a sound. The shadow didn't move. Not left. Not right. Not closer. It just stood there. Palantin, like it was waiting to hear where I was. Then the doorknob twitched, just a slight metallic click. Then another, like fingers brushing over it. I stepped back until my spine hit the wall. I didn't blink. I barely breathed. Then the knob turned. Slowly. My chest tightened. I wanted to scream, but no air came out. I watched, helpless, as the door gently pushed inward, only an inch. Then 2, and stopped. The darkness of the hallway stared back at me. It looked deeper than it should have been, like the shadows were swallowing the light from my room. I expected something to step inside. A hand. A shape. A face. But nothing came. Instead, I heard something worse. A whisper. Not a voice. Not language. No, just a breath sliding across the floor, like fingers dragging across wood. It slipped into my room before anything else did. Cold, heavy, wrong. I grabbed the only thing near me, a lampand, clutched it like a weapon. The plastic fell useless in my hands. The whisper grew louder. Not words, just sound, like something trying to imitate breathing. My phone vibrated again. Another notification. Motion detected. Upstairs hallway. I shut my eyes tight for half a second, then forced myself to look. I opened the camera. My stomach dropped. The footage was grainy, dark, but I could still make it out. A hand was pressed against my bedroom door. Not knocking, sliding down it. Slowly, like it was tasting the surface. The fingers were too long. The joints bent in odd directions. The nails looked sharp, not like claws, but like someone who hadn't cut them in years. And as I watched, the hands stopped sliding. It turned toward the lens, as if it could see me watching. My breath caught in my throat. Then the feed cut out. I didn't realize I'd dropped the lamp until it hit the floor beside me. The crash echoed through the room, and that was when the whispering stopped. Silence swallowed everything. For a moment, I thought maybe I'd scared it away. But then, from the other side of the door, knock. A single, heavy knock that rattled the hinges. Not 3 knocks this time. Just one. A warning. I staggered forward and pressed the door shut with my shoulder, though it wasn't fully open. My heartbeat pounded in my ears, drowning everything else out. Then, from behind the door, a voice, low, whispered, almost mechanical. It said one word. Open. My entire body froze. It wasn't a request. It wasn't angry. It wasn't emotional at all. It sounded like someone who had never spoken before trying to mimic the word. I shook my head, even though it couldn't see me. No. 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 Then it whispered again. Open. The voice slid under the door like smoke. I could feel it across my skin. My chest tightened so hard I thought I might pass out. I backed away from the door, but the voice got louder, not shouting, just closer. Open. I grabbed my phone and turned on every light in the room. The sudden brightness made my eyes sting, but I didn't care. I needed something, anything that felt normal. And then all the lights went out. On. On. My phone screen started glitching, pixelating, distorting. Then a new notification popped up. Front door, live view. Why would the front door activate if whatever was after me was upstairs? My hand shook as I opened the feed. What I saw made my blood turn to ice. I was standing on my front porch, not the real me. A figure. Tall. Still. Facing the door. Its head lowered, its arms hanging too far down, its legs twisted at unnatural angles. It wasn't me, but it was trying to look like me. My voice cracked. What the hell? What is that? Then the figure on the camera slowly lifted its head and smiled, a wide, stretched, unnatural smile that split too far across its face. Then, in a voice mimicking mine, "Let me in." My stomach dropped. The room spun. I realized something horrifying. There wasn't one of them. There were 2. One outside, one at my bedroom door, and both wanted the same thing. If you're still following this story, make sure you subscribe, because the next part. It's the point where I realized they weren't trying to enter my house. They were trying to replace me. I stared at that thing on my porch through the camera feed, that twisted version of me, and I felt something inside me break. Because the way it smiled, that wasn't curiosity, that wasn't malice. It was ownership, like it already believed I belonged to it. But I didn't have time to process that, because behind my bedroom door, the other one waited. I could feel it, not hear it, not see it, just feel Italiano, a cold pressure leaking under the crack of the door, sliding across the floor like a living shadow. The air tasted metallic, My ears rang. Every instinct I had screamed that opening that door would end me. Not kill me. Replace me. I tightened my grip on my phone. My hands were shaking so violently I could barely hold it. I looked again at the fake version of me standing on the porch. It tilted its head slowly to the side, as if studying me through the lens. Then it lifted one arm and knocked on my door 3 times. Knock. 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 The same knocks that started everything. Only now I was trapped in my bedroom with nowhere to go. My breath came out in short bursts. My vision blurred. The room suddenly felt too small, too tight, like the walls were closing in. And then, downstairs, something answered the knock. From inside the house, 3 knocks in return. Not loud, not soft, just mimicking. Knock. 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 The thing at my bedroom door was communicating with the thing outside. My legs nearly gave out. I stumbled backward until I hit the far wall. My mind scrambled for any explanation, dream, psychosis, hallucinations, but none of that explained the cold air in my lungs, or the way the floor vibrated with every knock. Bimida. I had to move. I had to get out of that room. But the second I stepped toward the door, a long, pale hand slid under the crack. Just the tips of its fingers at first. Then more. And more. They stretched too far, bending unnaturally as they spread across the floor like roots searching for something. Searching for me. I stumbled backwards so fast I tripped, hitting the nightstand. The lamp crashed to the floor, the bulb shattering. The fingers froze, then curled upward, like they were listening, like they were smiling. The voice came next, the same breathy, broken imitation from earlier, only this time it wasn't saying open. It said, My chest tightened so violently I almost choked. I crawled backward, kicking the carpet, unable to take my eyes off that hand. Then from the porch camera feed still glowing in my hand, the fake version of me whispered, Come outside. 2 voices, same intention. The perfect trap. One wanted me to leave the room. The other wanted me to leave the house. Either way I lost. I got to my feet unsteadily, heart pounding so hard I felt it in my teeth. My eyes darted around the room, searching for anything that I could use. And then I saw it. The window, my only escape. But outside. That thing was waiting. The fake version of me. I didn't know which was worse, the monster at the door or the monster beneath my window. But I knew one thing. Staying in the room meant dying. Or disappearing. I grabbed my phone, shoved it into my pocket, and ran to the window. I yanked the curtains aside with trembling hands. The yard stared back at me. Empty. No figure. No movement. Nothing. It was gone. But I didn't feel relief, because something cold brushed the back of my neck. Not a breeze. A touch. I spun so fast I slipped, hitting the dresser. The hand under the door was gone. That should have made me feel safer. It didn't, because what replaced it was an eye, pressed low to the floor, staring directly at me through the crack. The pupils stretched wide, swallowing the iris. Too dark, too deep, like looking into a hole that had no bottom. And then it blinked. I froze. The eye didn't move, didn't shift, didn't widen. It just watched me. Then a second I appeared beside it. Then a third. And a fourth. 4 eyes, misaligned, at impossible angles, all staring at me through a crack, barely an inch tall. That's when I knew. The thing on the other side of the door wasn't humanoid at all. It had only been pretending. My throat tightened. A whimper escaped before I could stop it, and the eyes blinked again, all at different times. I stumbled back toward the window, hands shaking so violently I could barely grab the latch. I shoved it open and the cold air slapped me in the face. But then, my phone vibrated. Another notification. Rear window. Live view. My blood turned to ice. I didn't want to look, but I did. And the feed showed Miyagi, but the face was wrong. The mouth too wide, the eyes too hollow, the smile too forced, like it had been painted on. The creature was standing directly below my window, waiting for me to jump, its head tilted upward with a crack, like a branch breaking in half. Then in that same broken, imitation voice come down. The 4 eyes under my door blinked again, then whispered, "Come out." 2 choices. Both death. Both traps. My chest tightened. I couldn't breathe. The room spun like I was underwater. Then something inside me snapped. Not courage, just pure survival. I didn't choose the door. I didn't choose the window. I chose the attic hatch. I pulled the chair to the center of the room, climbed on shaking legs, and pushed the wooden panel up. Dust rained down. The dark space above me groaned. But it was empty. Empty meant safe. Safer than the monsters waiting on both sides. I climbed into the attic, pulled the hatch closed, and lay flat on the wooden beams, heart thundering. Below me, I had the bedroom door burst open. Slow footsteps entered the room. 2 sets, one heavy and dragging, the one from the hall, one light, crackling, the one from outside. They had found each other, and now they were searching together. For me. For me. I covered my mouth with both hands to silence my breathing. I don't know how long they searched. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like days. But eventually, all I heard was silence. Until a single knock right under me. In the attic floor. Knock. Then a voice, perfectly imitating my own. Found you. If you made it to the end of this story, don't leave without subscribing. Because whatever knocked on my door that night, it's still looking for a way inside. And so may they. It might knock on yours.